Hey guys, I had a question. Someone asked about templates for the mask. They wanted to make their own off the artwork I had. So I'm going to kind of show you how I would go about doing it. Here is the mask. This is one of the patterns that I have. So what I'm going to do is actually select the blank area. I have a white background. I just got the background hidden. So what I did is I selected the void area, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to just pick a color, we're going to pick this bright green. And what I'm going to do is when it's selected, it's going to ask, because it's a smart object, do I want to rasterize it? Yes. So what I'm going to do is do that. And actually what I'm going to do is create another layer. Deselect the mask one. Go back to the mask layer. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to go edit, copy, go onto my new layer. Go edit, paste. I'm going to delete, or not really delete, I'm going to hide the other layer that had the mask on it. So there is a template right there, a blank template. So what you're going to do, you can't place an image in front of this. You have to place it behind it. So what I'm going to do is hit place, and I'll show you what happens. I'm going to go to the desktop and use the same image I did for the Tumblr, just because it's something simple. I'm going to hit place. As you can see, it's in front. So what I got to do is take that layer and drop it behind. Now right there it is. You might be happy with that. You remember seeing all the other stuff, but that's what it would kind of look like on the mask. What you can do also, you can do edit, you can transform it, and so literally you can hit oh, messed up. Let me undo that. You can hit the shift button so it won't skew the image. And so what you can do is kind of keep bringing the image down, and you can see your lines. So right now I'm at the edge. So I'm not going to get it all. Now what if I wanted to, I can bring the top down. And as you can see, there's a lot of just nothing above the top of this image. You can also do the same with the bottom. When I do that, it's going to skew this image way too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave the image like it is. Looks fine. And I would place it and do my mask like that. And I would hit the check button. And now it's there. When I go to print it, what I'm going to do is I'd turn off, or actually I would, because if you turn off the other layer, you're going to get that. What I would do is actually duplicate this green layer again and make a white one. Or you can just change the color of the green. So I'm just going to change the color of the green really quick, but there's a lot of ways. You don't have to make it green. I did green just so you can see the contrast of the difference of the edge. But what you're going to do is same thing as before. You're going to select this. We're going to fill it with white. And then we're going to deselect so we don't get the marching ants. And now anything I printed, I put underneath the white layer, for instance, it is good to go. And I'll show you what that looks like. Literally, I'm going to grab this layer now and see there's the blank still. So anything you put underneath that layer is going to be right there. So if you're drawing something, you can manipulate it to fit. The other thing, same thing as before. Let me do it this way. Let me just place another image. Maybe this one will work. Okay, if you wanted to, because what's going to happen when you use, I had a question from a customer. All the masks are not the same this way. on the kids, it's a lot narrower. So what's going to happen, the template, you can't use the adult template for the kids. So what you're going to do with that, then if you grab the top, you can see it just moves the whole thing. If you want it to warp to the edge, you can. You can actually grab and move the top this way. But what you can do is you can just skew the whole thing and move it down. But what I'm going to show you another way too, and we're going to undo that real quick, and we're going to replace that one more time. And I'm just going to show you, if you want it to warp to the top of the edge, when you do that, it's not going to be right, but here's what you can do to make the template. You can actually let me actually place a different one. So what you can do with the kids one, because all it does is change the height. So the radius is still the same, it's just lower. So what you're going to do with the kids, if you want to make a kids template, measure the width of the mask, and then literally just take one of these templates, drop it down, and do the same thing. Now you can center it if you want, so you can see the difference between a kids and an adult. This is just not a proportionate, I just kind of scaled it quickly. What I'm going to do though is turn off this back layer. And so what you're going to do you want to make another outline like this? This layer, even though you can see the white, it's not there really. So what I'm going to do is use my magic wand, select everything around here, and what you're going to do, once you get your measurements from the height and the width, move this in and out till you get the width and the height of the exact mask you're using. And let me grab a mask and I'll kind of show you. As you can see, this is a kid's mask. The kids' masks are not as tall. This is a single layer, and I've got lighting on it. That's why you can kind of see through, but it's not as tall. So what you're going to do is measure here and measure here. The width is pretty much the same, so you're not going to have to change that much. But you're going to measure that and then bring this up and down until you get it to the right size. Remember, leave a little bleed over on it when you're doing that, so that you don't have white showing. You want a little bleed over, so make the image a little bit bigger. But what you're going to do, once you selected that, it's going to just tell it's going to rasterize it again. So now I'm going to fill that in. And as you can see, deselect that, go to my tool. And actually, what I should have done is did it wrong again. This time I wasn't really paying it much attention. We're going to select this white layer, create a new layer, which is above that. We're actually going to go back to the first layer. We're going to, since we selected, we're going to go edit, copy, go on, create that new layer, and then we're going to paste it on that new layer. It's pasted, and then now we've got that. So what I'm going to do is open up my image, and as you can see, this image is too tall now because we made it for the adult mask. So what we're going to do is free transform. You got to be on that layer though, which I wasn't. So let me go back to that layer. I'm on this layer now, so we're going to transform my image. So we're going to bring the image down. We're going to scale it a little bit. I'm still skewing the image, but what we can do is kind of bring it into the picture more of where we want it for the kids one. And then it would be good to go on the kids now. And then, like I said, if you put the adult mask back on, remove the kids, you can see the difference. There's a whole image. But that is how you make a template or a mask blank. And then how I showed you in the Tumblr video, how you would skew the image if you want to do the contour, you can, but there's no need to because then your picture is going to look skewed. But if you're trying to fill just a little bit up top, yeah, you can do that if you've got a square image. But the tapering, when you do the warp, when you warp an image, it kind of makes it for moving it around the tumbler to get the angle. But hope you guys like this. Hope it helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and follow. It's Waldo2413. I'm out.